Hey everyone, it's David Premer here, and what I wanted to do today was something a little bit different, off the beaten path. It's a question I get asked a fair amount. Now you can see I'm shooting my videos here in my office, as I often do when the weather is a little bit colder outside here in Toronto, and I have some of my favorite sales books here behind me, but I also have this interesting picture, this interesting poster over here over my shoulder. And a lot of people look at that and they say, oh, your whiteboard is still the same. Do you ever not go and erase it? And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about the story of what this is and why it's so important and relevant to what we talk about here on the channel as it relates to the modern selling. Now, I was really privileged to be part of a great sales organization, a great company called Salesforce for a number of years. A lot of you know I worked for Salesforce for 5 years after they acquired my third startup. And I loved working at Salesforce, and one of the things that I got to do was partake in a lot of great events. And there was one event in particular a few years ago called Sales Machine in New York City, where it was an awesome event, a celebration of sales. We brought a whole bunch of sellers, thought leaders together, and it was just kind of like a thought leadership conference. And one of the speakers at that conference was a fellow by the name of Simon Sinek, who I know many of you have heard of and really enjoy. And I have many of his books here on my bookshelf, and I've read them all. Really, really big Simon Sinek fan. And he spoke at that conference. Now, he's in the process right now of writing a book called The Infinite Game. And at that time, he was kind of trying out his talk on the Infinite Game. He was trying out his material, probably for one of the first times at that conference. And the idea behind the Infinite Game was it was all about kind of playing the game that you play, right? Basically doing what you do, not because you're trying to win, but because it's what you love. It's what you need to do. It's your quest, the thing you want to keep getting better and better at. And he talked about finite games as games that have winners and losers and ends and beginnings, and infinite games, the games, again, that we just play because we're committed to them and we want to get better at them every day. And so the organizers of the conference knew I was a big Simon Sinek fan, and they were gracious enough to give me the flip chart that Simon used on stage at that event as he was kind of drawing his synthesis of the Infinite Game. And I took it to Simon after the event, had a nice chat with him, and he actually signed that page. And so that's what you see up behind me there. And I keep it here in my office to constantly remind me of the game that I'm playing. When I decided to get into sales education, kind of stepping out of the field and just decided to teach the art and science of selling, one of the things I've learned is that not everyone that I teach wants to be good, right? Not all sellers want to be good. They don't all want to learn. They don't all want to get better. But as in any profession, in any competency, if you want to be at the top of your game, you have to wake up every day and you have to want to learn. You have to want to get better, not because someone's telling you to, not because you have this quota hanging over your head, but because this is your chosen profession. This is the thing that you love to do. You love to sell. You love to help your customers. You love to solve problems, and you want to keep getting better at doing that every single day. So I keep this poster up here, this flip chart, to remind me of the Infinite Game and the game that I'm playing and the game that I hope you all are playing too. And the best thing you can do for the future of our profession is to really double down and commit yourself to learning and getting better every day and be the kind of seller that your customers love, that your customers would love to pick up the phone and talk to you because you add so much value. So that is my tip for today. Make sure that you are playing the Infinite Game. Remember the game that you're playing. Please be committed to that journey of learning. You certainly need to do it in sales. You need to be resilient, but the game of sales changes so frequently and you need to keep up with it. That is my tip for today, and we'll see you next time.